The Sharks make a very sneaky trade, acquiring a former first-round draft pick. We're going to talk about how big this is for the future of this team and break down his game. Plus, we're going to look at an early lineup projection from some analysts for the Sharks team heading into the season. So you're not going to want to miss all this on this episode of Sharks Digest. But before we dive into everything here, just want to say that 66% of you guys watching these videos aren't subscribed to the channel. We're on the road for 2,000 subscribers here, and if you want to stay up to date on your San Jose Sharks, we are going to be your home for it here on YouTube. So make sure down below and hit that subscribe button. It's completely free. But with that said, Mike Grier makes another move this offseason, making a trade, a little bit of a lower trade, but I think it will work out for the Sharks in the future. And let's just dive right into it. From Curtis Pichelka here on Twitter saying the Sharks have traded Daniil Gushchin to the Avalanche for Oskar Ollasson. Pretty sure I'm saying that right, so we'll get there with the pronunciation, but looking like Daniil Gushchin, a guy we talked about here a lot on the channel last season, about how good his play has been in the AHL, having two 50-point seasons in the AHL in back-to-back years. We see him going the other direction for Oskar Ollasson, who is a former first-round pick in the NHL. And initial reaction I'm seeing from Sharks fans here on Twitter, on Reddit, is, they don't really understand it because Gushchin was just shaping up to be a guy who could be that extra forward that we need in a call-up pinch. But it seems like Mike Grier and the San Jose Sharks have seen something out of Ollasson here, and they got a pretty good batting record right now, so we gotta take that as it comes. So just looking at the stats here on Oskar Ollasson, this guy is 22 years old. He is 3 years the younger of Gushchin, and he also, like I said, was a former first-round pick back in 2021 with the 28th overall selection. After getting into 4 NHL games, doesn't have a point so far in his NHL career, but has been a guy who has been, a little bit of a consistent scorer in the AHL, having 26 points in 61 games, 11 goals, 15 assists, and then the season prior being 20 points in 39 games. So Ollasson here is developing and becoming a player in the AHL, and I think after maybe a couple more seasons, we will really see this guy into his full development. I mean, he's 22 right now. You give him till maybe even he's 23, 24. This guy will be in the prime of his career, and he will really, find his footing in the AHL, and hopefully bump up to the NHL level. And if you guys were just wondering on how he plays, what kind of game he does play, his strength is his elite skating with strong puck carrying instincts, is an offensive mindset that is more geared towards shooting or over setting up his teammates. And they say he often finds himself in the offensive zone faceoffs and power play rotations because of his goal scoring ability and his obviously great shot that he does have. And they say he creates net front chaos with his shooting lanes as well. I mean, he is 6'1", a little bit of a bigger guy. I mean, he's over that 6-foot mark, so he can cause havoc in front of a goaltender, and we see that from him in a lot of these highlights that I've looked at Ollasson here today since this trade did happen. I think this is a guy who does have a lot of potential to be a goal scorer at the NHL level. His shot is amazing. I think he really knows how to find and pick his spots and just get set and put the puck in the top of the net. I really like this pickup from Mike Grier. It does suck seeing Gushchin go out the other way. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I did like Gushchin. I really did think this was a guy that we were going to see at some point this season, and I think once he came up, maybe we wouldn't have seen him go back. So it is a little maybe a bitter pill to swallow for myself and maybe some of you guys Sharks fans out there, but there is a lot to look forward with Ollasson here, no doubt about it. And we've seen some what we can expect out of him this season. Obviously, they say the Sharks value his size at 6'2". His mobility and shooting ability, and they're hoping that he will get increased NHL opportunities, or he will be a leading scorer in the or in the AHL with the Barracuda. And I think with the roster that the Barracuda have and the rotation of young guys that they do have down there, he will find his footing in this league because he's going to have a lot of great players down there, like a Bystead or, I name any Barracuda player that will set this guy up, and it will happen. I mean, it's just going to happen. He's going to find success on the power play. He's going to find success in the forward unit just because he's playing with an all-around better group of individuals, in my opinion. Nothing on the Colorado Eagles. I think they are a great organization as well. But I think as of right now, with the amount of picks that the Sharks have had over the last couple of years, the Barracuda obviously have the better roster at this point in time. And they say if he translates his NHL production into NHL success, he could become a consistent secondary scorer, a guy who we could see in and out of this bottom six when they do need an offensive spark. So, a little bit of a low-end move maybe today, but I do think it is one that has a lot of potential. There's no doubt about it. And we see some NHL comparables for Ollasson here. They have him looking like an Oliver Bjorkstrand. He's slightly more cerebral with better playmaking is Bjorkstrand, but they have a similar skating and shot first game. And obviously, Burkowski on the early years, he was a toolsy winger who needed time to round out his game. And I think that is the best comparison that we've seen there. Obviously, we see right now he's about a 20-point scorer in the AHL. So once you give this guy time to get into his game and find out how he can be consistent at the pro level, we will see his numbers go up. We will see that side of his game go up as well. We'll see the goals start to come. We'll see the playmaking start to develop, and we will see a solid bottom six player out of Ollasson. This is a guy to keep on your radar for you guys following the Barracuda in this season. If he does go out and light it up, he is just 1 year away from letting this happen. It could be this year. Who knows? So, exciting stuff here out of San Jose today. But, like we did mention at the beginning of this video, the Hockey News released their projected lineup for the San Jose Sharks heading into this season. And we're just going to dive right into it. Looking at it here, we have Macklin Celebrini, Toffoli. Now nothing changed there. That's the top line. Like I've been saying, I love it. We're seeing that here now. And we're seeing Will Smith, Chernyshov, and Skinner as the second line. Interesting one there. I've had Smith on the right wing with Misa centering it, so they don't have that here in the Hockey News, but I do think that this line will be lethal. Smith and Skinner together, that link up is going to be exceptional to watch as San Jose Sharks fans. And there you see the third line here. We have Misa, Wennberg, and Gaudette. Now, this is an interesting one. This is one I didn't have cooked up in the lab. I kind of really like this line for Michael Misa. I was kind of wanting him in the top six just for getting that extra ice time, but getting him into this third line on the left wing with Wennberg, I think these guys could make some magic happen. Obviously, Gaudette as well. He's a guy who can put the puck in the back of the net, and Misa, pure goal scorer, obviously he has the playmaking upside as well, 62 goals in the OHL. I do like this line for Michael Misa, but I do think throughout this season, we will see head coach Ryan Warsofsky have Misa on the second line center with Smith on the right wing, because I think that's what a lot of Sharks fans want to see. But heading into this fourth line, we see Goodrow, Dellandrea, and Cardwell. Interesting here that we don't see Colin Graf in this lineup for the Hockey News. I think this is a guy who deserves a spot, in my opinion, even if it's only on this fourth line right wing. Obviously, then we head down to the defense where they have Ferraro and Klingberg. Interesting link up for me. I think I like it a lot. I think Klingberg and him will have some great chemistry. Klingberg being the more offensive guy and Ferraro being the defensive guy. They will mesh well together with then having Mukhamadullin with Liljegren. Didn't see that one coming either because I thought Mukhamadullin would be a third pairing. But, obviously defensive guy with the playmaking guy makes sense. And then you have Dmitry Orlov and Thompson here on the third pairing, which, makes sense as well. I thought Orlov will be higher in this list. At least in my list, I have him in the second pairing. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. And obviously you have Leddy as the extra with Askarov and Nedeljkovic there. Interesting lines heading into this season. It is going to be a fun one to watch, and there's still a lot of stuff to unfold here in the Bay Area before the season starts. So if you want to stay up to date on everything around this team, make sure down below, hit that subscribe button. But as always, I've been your host, KC. Keep your stick on the ice.